Welcome to Mary's Eclectic Interests. Today we'll be making a sock puppet. All you'll need is a sock, thread, buttons, a few straight pins and or safety pins, needle, and a scissors and a glue gun. So I'm going to put all of this away. This is the one I've already done. And here we go. This is what it looks like. And then a little button here. So I have buttons here. I have like a clear button underneath and a black button, but you can use whatever you're making. You can use whatever buttons you want. And of course, this is a Superman sock, so I took the bottom, or I should say the top of the sock where the Superman's cape is, and I cut that off and I put that here. Now I have a sweatshirt on, but if you bring this up, look at all this room that you have. So if you're going to go and do a puppet underneath, you have a lot of room, and this your arm won't show because this will go way above my elbow. So let's get started on this. This is the one that I've done, and I'll show you what we're going to do. First, I'm going to cut this off because we don't need it till later. Oops, I got a little bit of thread on me. And then I'm going to measure out, and this is how much I'm going to cut off. And this is from the top because I wanted the thicker or the wider portion of the cape. Then I'm going to cut it in, I'm going to fold it in half and make sure that my cut is, yes, it looks pretty darn good. So this I can throw away. The next thing is I'm going to have to put this on, and the heel is going to be where the mouth is. So I have to turn this around. There we go. And you can see, look at all this extra that I have here for this, from the sock, from where my thumb is and the heel. There's the heel, and look, I have all of this. And what you have to do is pull all that excess material up. Keep pulling it up and folding it towards your fingers, not away, but towards your fingers. You can see that gap in here and where it is. All of that is excess. And this is where I'm going to put I'm putting straight pins. I want the buttons right about here. You see where I want the buttons? And I want to make sure this time that I have enough material to go over the width of the button, which I did not have before. So I'm going to do that one. This one hasn't been prepared yet. I'll show you how to do that. So this is where I want the buttons. There's the nose. This is where I want the buttons. This is where I need to make notes of where to go. And here's 1, 2, and 3. I want to put this over a little bit further because I want this to be right where the button is going to be. What I really wanted to do was sew the buttons in, but I just could not manage to do that. So we have a button that's going here, and we have a button that's going there. Now I'm going to take this off. Whoops. There we go. Let's take the buttons off. I've already sewn this button on. There's 2 buttons. There's almost a white or a clear white and a black one. And here's my thread. I already have it threaded. This is black threading. And this is just your regular sewing thread. And what I'm going to do is put the black one on top of this white one. I'm going to bring it from the bottom. Bring it from the bottom up. And then come back down. And you'll see I'm leaving this great big tail. There's a reason for that. So I'm going to bring it around And I'm going to split my thread because there's 2 pieces of thread there. And what I want to do, here we go. There. And so what you want to do is go between here and here and make, it's almost like a little knot. And that way you just keep going in and out, in and out, in and out until it seems sturdy. But because I'm not sewing it into the sock, this is how you do it. Now I might do this a little different than the first one as far as how to put the eyes on. Okay, and now the little string from the opposite side came through here. There. And then again, I'm looping it onto the back, and I'll tie this into a knot. Whoops, there it goes. There we go, and that's it. So now I have 2 eyes, and I don't need the black thread anymore, so I'm going to take that off. What I'm going to need is this color thread. This is the closest that I could get to the sock color. And I'm going to be doing a, I think it's called a slide stitch. I probably don't need this much, but just in case, you never know. And this is where I'm going to use my form. Here's my form. I'm going to put that in here. And bring it up. And take this off. There we go. Come on, get in there. I want that all tucked underneath there. And it did not do what I wanted. I had this trouble before because I'm putting it on a form. The underside curls up and doesn't lay flat. So I have to go in and pull this up. There it goes. Because I want it to lay flat when I do this. And of course, this is your mouth. So I want to make sure that this is all in the middle. It doesn't really matter because I'm not going to stitch it all the way around. I'm only going to stitch it three quarters of the way around. So this eye is going to go here. This eye is going to go here. And where I'm going to stitch, and see this one got too tight, so let's put it in. Because that's where I had a problem before. There we go. So here's where my eyes are going to be. So I'm actually going to leave them in there so I don't do what I did before. I'm going to go underneath, way over here, and I'm going to go through the edge here, and I'm going to go in between the 2 pieces of thread so I can hook them together. There we go. Otherwise, what might happen is that the knot will be so small that it's going to come through the material. And being that this is a sock, it's a loose weave. And this is what they call, here, let's go here. And I'm going to take this little tag, the extra little yarn, and hide it under here. Now I'm going to go back into the sock right underneath where I originally put it in. And I'm going to go into this fold right here. And I'm just going to go down a little ways. And that's why it's a hidden stitch. You're not going to be able to see it. And then go down exactly where you came out again. And again, go underneath and then continue on till you get to the eyes. If you don't want to do this, you can always glue gun it. Now I can take this straight pin out. Now I'm going to have to go on the other side of the eye. Here's my eye and here's my eye. And I'm going to go underneath between those the folds, between those two pieces of material, and come out on the other side. See it here? I'm going to come out the other side here, and you won't be able to see that thread. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side, but right between the eyes. I'm going to go back up through there, and then I'm going to go through the material go down into the bottom here, and I'll have a little diagram of what it's going to look like as far as this stitch is called, the hidden stitch. I have a stitchery book that has a picture of it. And again, I'm going to have to go all the way through over here to the other side. I'm going to take this out. And I want to make sure that this is going to go in. Oops, my other one fell out. There's the one. Now see, I have this a little bit too snug. And that's what I did before. I didn't do it there. I want it has to be like a little pocket. Oops, that just went around the needle. So now I'm going to go through two pieces of material and go on the other side of the eye. And I want to make sure my eyes correlate with this. See this little tongue, this little heel here? And I notice that there. Is it going to work right? Here's this part and here's, I think so. I think we're all right. And I'm going to go way over here. Whoops, it is here. I need to go through the material, I'll have to get rid of that there. And come out on the other side. And now I'm going to put the eye back in. Go underneath, and I'm going to take this straight pin out and I'm going to take this out so I can get in here and come back out. Okay, now I'm going to make a knot. And again, I'm going to go through this this hoop here, and I'm going to go through it again. That'll be a double knot. I'm going to pull it, and I'm going to hide that string, the thread in between the two layers. Now the nose is going to go way, oops, I got some threads on here. There. Way down here. This is where the nose is going to go. Way, way, way down here. But first, let's see if I can get the eyes in. And before I do all this, I'm hoping I did this correctly. Let's get the other eyes in, because I'll just start all over. It's not that hard. There, there, Okay. Now when your hand's in there, it's going to be a little bit wider. So let's see if I can get it up a little bit further. Now get a sock that works with your hands. I'm an adult, but these socks, my hands are very small. Okay, this is going to go here and this is going to go there. And what I'm trying to do is see if that evens out, because here's this and here's this. I think I've got it pretty close. And what I'm going to do, now I always burn myself on this, so be very, very careful when you do this. Instead of what I have been doing, I've been putting the glue on the back here of the button, but I always burn myself. So I mentioned before, this is not something for young children. Actually, there's some other people that might burn themselves too. That one's in. There, got this little string. I'm trying not to put it on the glue on the whole button like I did before, but just in the center. And I'm lifting this up and I'm trying to get that underneath there. So you could do this with a glass, use a glass or a cup, you know, a plastic cup, something that gives you a little bit of ability to put that, you know, do this part. Because otherwise, if you have your hand in there, well, that's kind of awkward to do this. Oops. So the nose is going to go right, of course, between the eyes. All right, what do you think so far? And the cape, now I'm going to wait a little bit for this to dry. And I'm going to take all of this off, because once that's dry, I'm going to take this off so I can figure out where the cape goes. Now the cape is going to go about where my wrist is. That's where I did it. But I can cheat this time, because I can put this one down, that one down, and measure it. But otherwise, I put it where my wrist was, which would be, I don't know, I guess considered the, probably where your neck is. Okay, I'm going to pull this out. Come on. There. And every time I do this, I have to rearrange what I just sewed. There. And see, everything popped out again, because this is supposed to go over. And then everything, there we go. So I think if I did this, okay, get this way, this way, this way, get the arms, and this is hard to, this is a tight sock. So this is where my cape is going to go. Right where my wrist is, right here. And what I'm going to do is just put a couple of straight pins in there, because I'm just doing a guessing where this is, because it doesn't have to be exact. And this is a very, very basic puppet, hand puppet. And I'm trying to adjust the eyes so that they both are the same. There, okay. So I'm wondering if once I take this off, I might stitch it all the way around on this portion, and that will help a lot. But what I like is when I open it up, see there's the big S for Superman. And so I'm sitting there going, well, I want the S to show for Superman. And if I get, but this eye does not want to stay underneath there. Okay. Let's take this off. Oh! Lay this down, and I'm going to glue this right about here. So I have a general idea of where it's going right here. This can go, because it's just I'm just using that as a form. And let's put a little bit of glue here. So I get Superman, super bugs. I don't know, the super worm. Okay. And like I said, this can go way up past my elbows. There we go. Here's my little puppet. So if you have your child or you're smaller, I would suggest using children's size socks. And this is just one that I almost gave it away to the thrift stores. But then I saw it and I'm going, it's so nice and soft and easy to work with. So there's the little cape. So now we have made a sock puppet. Now you can put arms on these, but I did not have the right color felt to do that, so I eliminated that. And I figured I just wanted to do a really basic puppet. So here we go. Again, thank you for watching Mary's Eclectic Interests. Take care, stay safe.